Hi, I'm Kim Solez. I'm a physician teaching a course on technology and the future of medicine at the University of Alberta. That course is largely about ethics. What shall we do in the future when machines are smarter than we are? Where most vehicles are autonomous and most ordinary jobs are performed by robots. In almost every class of the course, we talk about such questions. When you would search online for the articles about the ethics of the future, you end up with something very different from our discussions in class, which are specific and practical. Online, you mostly find general, theoretical, abstract discussions without a lot of specifics. And a very large number of them mention the trolley problem. Even if you have led a very restricted life, you've probably already encountered the trolley problem. There's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks. Ahead on the tracks, there are 5 people tied up and unable to move. The trolley is headed straight for them. You are standing some distance off in the train yard next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice that there is one person on the side track. You have 2 options. 1, do nothing and allow the trolley to kill the 5 people on the main track. 2, pull the lever, diverting the trolley into the side track where it will kill 1 person. Which is the more ethical option? Or more simply, what is the right thing to do? Much has been made of this problem. 3.5 years ago, I had an experience one evening that changed my perspective on the trolley problem. As background, you're probably aware of a well-known metric in accelerating pace of technological change that in the summer of 2016, Pokemon Go added 100 million users worldwide in a single month. And in that same summer of 2016, the height of the Pokemon Go craze, there was a car crash right outside our Tuesday night poetry venue at BLVD on Jasper Avenue, the main street in Edmonton, between 2 cars chasing rare Pokemons. But the cars were going so slowly that no one was injured. This is a metaphor for how the trolley problem included in most generic presentations on ethics of the future is not reality and not future reality. No one is being injured or will be injured in scenarios similar to that described in the trolley problem. Anyone using the trolley problem for teaching should be aware of the extensive criticism of the construct that exists on the Wikipedia page about it, arguing that the scenario it presents is too extreme and unconnected to real-life moral situations to be useful or educational. The scenario has nothing to do with life as it exists in our society today. When in your life have you encountered a bunch of people tied to a railroad tracks? Never. What culture does it come from? Comes from the culture of children's cartoons from the 1930s to 1950s that was lampooned in the song Then Came Jones in 1959, a fictional culture where people were already making fun of in 1959. A culture with stereotypical villains that audiences all hissed and booed at, and passive victims allowing themselves to be tied to railroad tracks that are completely unlike any of us. The trolley problem has nothing to do with modern life or with the future as it will unfold. The problem with most ethics of the future presentations is the shifting dullness. You'll recognize that as a medical term about when you percuss an abdomen, shifting dullness. of the very generic nature of the discussion and the very general nature of ethical discussions. In this presentation, we, in contrast, consider highly specific criticisms of the idea of a post-scarcity world of abundance, and we will see if these criticisms hold up, starting with the notion that the existence of large tent cities of poor people in or near Los Angeles automatically negates all claims of a post-scarcity future world of abundance by people living and working in Silicon Valley. It is actually true, unrelated. The one fact does not disprove the other. The fact that there are those large tent camps and that people are working on post-scarcity abundance world through technological change. It was never an assumption that the abundance would reach everyone all at once. There are still uncontactable tribes in the Australian outback and in Brazil and many other parts of the world. And abundance and the technological singularity are going to take a very long time to reach those uncontactable tribes. And it is also unlikely that homeless people living in poverty in our own cities will see their lives instantly transformed. So the large tent cities do not mean that abundance is not already here or that the technological singularity is not coming. In fact, Ray Kurzweil now says it's coming in 2035 rather than 2045. So that's in just 15 years. The idea that we are not getting exponentially wiser or kinder is also not a showstopper. We have not really had a metric for wisdom or kindness in the past, but since these are attributes we will want sentient machines to have, there will be metrics to measure them by for wisdom and kindness in the future. And who is to say that it cannot increase exponentially as sentient machines self-improve after the singularity? We have no idea what that would look like, but it would be enjoyable to witness anyway. We cannot criticize starting in California with technological improvements and simultaneously criticize the tent cities in California. The tent cities we are so critical of would benefit from technological focus on California. And finally, the fact that your brain, your DNA, your thoughts, and the essence of who you are may all be changed by technology does not mean that these changes could not be voluntary and desirable from the point of view of the person experiencing the changes and society as a whole. So how would that be bad? Would be surprising and interesting. It's not necessarily bad, but I'm not sure it would be. Many of these arguments against technology advances are just distractions, not refutations of the main ideas of post-scarcity world of abundance at all. That world will come, properly discussed and planned for, will be a human flourishing we will all enjoy. The intent of the course on technology and the future of medicine is to promote the necessary discussion and planning so the changes can occur in the best possible way. Thank you very much for listening.